Hey everyone. Hope everyone's having a lovely day today. Um, this video is just gonna be me giving my opinion on the current state of Recode, both positive and negative. I think this game has really good attributes, and I also think it has really bad attributes. And I will giving what I think I will be saying what I think those are and why I think that it is why I think that's bad and good or good. So yeah, um, I would recommend that you would watch the entire thing, but of course you don't have to. It might be a little boring because it's just me giving my thoughts and opinions on Recode. But yeah, thank you. All right, this is kind of like uh, the other video I posted, but there's a lot less fuck in it. So yeah, let's get started. What should we go for over first? I think some of the map design is okay. Um, so let's start. Let's go with the first map that ever came out. Dungeons. Dungeons is a really good map. I really like playing Dungeons. It is probably the best map in Recode so far. There is no annoying loops or tasks that are they get tedious after a while. I mean, like some of the tasks, like the note task, is kind of a pain sometimes. Like you're constantly like you're flicking your wrist, and then you get. But for the most part, like Dungeons is a really good map. And like the second map that ever came out, Pillar Stronghold. I really liked Pillar Stronghold. I know some people don't. Some people despise the map. Like it is you can kind of get looped pretty easily on, relatively easily on Pillar Stronghold, but and some of the tasks are kind of brain dead. Like the cleaning the vents task, that one just kind of that one's not really that fun. And then the battery task, like putting the batteries in the middle of the map, that one it gets really repetitive because you're constantly having to find batteries, and then not enough batteries spawn on the map, so you can't even complete the task. But for the most part, I really like Pillar Stronghold. It is a good map for the most part. No, it wasn't the second map to ever come out. The second map to ever come out was Eternal Abyss. Where to start with this map? I don't think majority of this community likes Eternal Abyss, and I think that's pretty fair. Eternal Abyss really isn't the best map in the game. I think it's one of the worst. It's like way too open for monsters, and the terrain's kind of a pain to navigate. I have a lot of bad history with this map. Like I also have a really good history because when Stricken came out, or like right around this map, came out too, and I have a lot of good memories playing that original kit. Like obviously that original kit wasn't good, but like playing on this map when Stricken was first out, playing Recode, it was so much fun. But now I'm kind of starting to see some of the issues with this map. Like some of the tasks are kind of buns. The bone task, the watering task, like those tasks they just take too long. And it's kind of the bone task kind of RNG because trying to find the bones, and then it's like one of them you just can't find anymore. But yeah, no, it's all right. I don't like playing this map at all on any side. Especially Stricken, you can't. It's impossible, almost impossible to win against competent survivors on Eternal Abyss. Actually, no, it is impossible because it's just custards you can't get the full use out of a custard because they either get picked up too fast or the area just gets walked around. But yeah, Eternal Abyss really isn't the best map at all. I think what was the other map? Oh yeah. Holding facility, like 7-1 or something like that. Holding facility. Holding facility is It's okay. I like the map, but it is the tasks are kind of booty. The code task, I like the code task. It's fine. But the blood tasks, they just they're alright, but they don't give you well with the original Q point system. I don't really like the current Q point system. I think the original one was better. It just needed a bunch of work. But yeah, they didn't really give you a whole lot of Q points anymore. Yeah, but yeah, E71 holding facility is kind of in my opinion, it's kind of a monster-sided map because for Stricken at least, there's a lot of really good spots for custards, and like you'll see a lot of gameplay on a holding facility, like from me at least, playing Stricken because that map is generally just really good for him because there's just a lot of good areas to place custards. I like the map. I like the effect. Like what is the Geiga? I think is what the creature's name is. I really like that you get his boss fight theme. You can hear it slightly in the games in the map's ambience. I think that's really cool. Frostbitten Ridge. Frostbitten Ridge is kind of an interesting one. Uh, Originally, I used to love it, mainly just playing on Survivor, because you could get a bunch of Q points with the original Q point system. Like on doing the snow pile tasks, um, you could get a bunch. You get like 100 Q points per game on Frostbitten Ridge because of the bone task. Because they gave not the bone task, but the snow pile tasks. Because when you pick up the sticks and you pull them off of the snow pile, you get 1 Q point. You used to get 1 Q point per stick, and you could multiply that by like 7. Well, there's like 10 There's like 10 sticks per pile. Well, maybe even more than that, and then times that by like 7 other snow piles that you can do that from. It was really good, but the new Q point system, again, I don't really like it. Made it so the snow piles aren't too worth it to do. The trash task, I like the trash task, but it's got the same problem that on console at least, it's got the same problem that Pillar Stronghold has. Is that one of the buttons to do the trash task, and like on Pillar Stronghold, one of the buttons to do the vent task is binded to your jump button, which is really annoying because one, you're jumping so you can't hear anything, and you also waste stamina while jumping too. So it's just like it's really tedious, and I really hope they stop binding buttons to buttons that already have a use, like binding, like in Precode, for example, on console, your one of your upgrade buttons, like to use one of your survivor upgrades, was binded to your right trigger, and the right trigger is used to do some of the tasks in Precode, and it got really annoying. Like if you had like explode binded to the right trigger, a lot of the time you would just detonate yourself because of trying to do a task, and you hit the button and then boom, you're dead. Like it's just, ugh, I don't. They need to stop doing that, and they need to change the button. Like left trigger, none of the triggers are used on console, so I feel like they could have changed it to one of the triggers, and I think that would have been better. But yeah, on topic, back on topic to the Frostbitten Ridge. Frostbitten Ridge, the tasks are okay. The escape is okay. The terrain, however, is our terrain's all right. It's not the worst map, but it's also not the best either. I would much rather play like Pillar Stronghold or it's because it's got the same issue that it kind of has the same issue that Eternal Abyss has, and being like really open and the terrain's kind of difficult to navigate. It's better. It's obviously better, but it's not. It's not the best. Playing a Stricken though, the Frostbitten Ridge has a bunch of breakable fences that you can break, like you can go through. Stricken, when hitting a breakable wall or just any like objects like that are breakable, um, it counts as the same as like getting like, hitting a survivor. So like you gain infection, and if you use shriek on the fences, boom, you have one you're gaining infection if you like chain hit fences, and you also get extra speed boost time because you're like chain hitting. You get a bunch of speed boost, and it's really you could if you watch some of my stricken wipes stripper wipes, you can see me kind of abuse this a little bit. Um, and yeah, it's pretty good. And that's about it for the map section. The first monster, let's start with Vapor. All right, Vapor. He's actually pretty good. For even like for a starter monster, he's really good. Let's take a look at his abilities. Blazing Cage, that is really good for zoning and like keeping it like getting good damage in case the survivor walks through the ring of fire. I have done Vapor Server Vibe, and I didn't lose with him once. I think only lost once because my partner in Double Trouble left. But yeah, Scorching Grip, quick grabbing people with Scorching Grip is really overpowered, and like, and when you like you get lurch forward too if you charge it up all the way, so it's a pretty good ability. And then Demonic Shift's just good. It's good teleport ability. Um, I like this monster is pretty much perfect. Uh, I really like what they've done with him. His model is really good. His animation, I mean, his kill animation and like run is it's a little goofy, but I do like his intro animation. All right, for the next monster, Ao Oni. This monster is a little bit interesting. Um, I don't have too much experience with him. I have a lot of experience doing with mini Onis, but um, he has had a couple of work. He has had some work done to him recently. Uh, Mainly the omission of his shapeshift ability, which I actually think that was a better change to be removing the shapeshift ability. I mean, yeah, it's more accurate. We could go down that route, but I think uh, it's a really good idea just to have it exclusive to the mini Onis. And that ability was kind of obnoxious to go against, anyways. Um, his ability, Brute Strength, he can ground slam or dig into the ground to move faster. I think those abilities are fine. I know a lot of people say like ground break is like, oh, it's like useless, but I think it's situational. And the damage you get when you come out of the ground, like when you're coming out of the ground, it's okay, but it's not too bad. Like I think it's like 15 damage what you get. Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind it. Oni Vision I think was a really good idea. I like that they brought that back. Don't really like not too keen on the idea that it drains stamina, but I guess it makes it fair since you're seeing survivors and when you get a damage buff too. So yeah, I think that's as fair as it possibly can be. And Infestation and his mini Oni mechanic, I think that's a really good idea. I'm like that's probably one of my favorite things to come out of Recode so far is the mini Oni infection. I think that like they cooked hard with that. Hitting the grasshoppers a little bit, it's all right. But like just the like you could have like he's kind of like a setup character, because of the mini Oni thing that he can do. So like you could just at the first part of the game you could start setting up your army, and then you're like really strong because of the mini Onis. And I think that's cool. I like the fact that he does that. And that's about it. I think the next monster is it's not Balaam, it's MX. MX. Okay, this monster is a little bit interesting. Uh, I have played MX before they started doing like a bunch of weird, really weird reworks and adding on to them. Uh, what to start? His stomp. We'll go over the stomp. The stomp is interesting, to say the least. I mean, like it's good, but they keep like nerfing it. So it's either 45 damage. Like originally, when he got it back, it was 50. They nerfed it to 40, buffed it to 50 again, and now it's back at it's at 45, I believe. Uh, it's good, but it the fact that it wastes stamina is a little it's it's not really that good that it does that because pretty much all of MX abilities waste stamina. Crushing grab, I'm pretty sure wastes stamina when you pick up a survivor or you throw them. Pow hop pauses stamina regen except for when you land, and then charging demise when hitting a survivor, you waste 5 stamina per hit. That's really not good. I don't like that at all. The fact that all of his abilities either pause stamina or waste it. That makes him kind of a pain in the side to play. And before he was really good actually. He didn't need all of these changes or additions. They keep messing with him, and I feel like ruining him because of it. Like they don't need to keep changing him because I believe when he first entered Recode, he's had that kit for a long time. There will obviously some nerfs because he was pretty good. Um, and they keep changing him for some reason when he didn't need to be changed. Because I remember there was a bunch of posts back then on like Reddit and stuff where people were like, "Oh, this is the most fun they had playing a monster and he ace him because of like how fresh MX Kit was." And now I feel like it's not as good as it was when he first entered Recode. A little bit sad because I do like MX as a character. Um, I remember watching people play that old Mario 85. I think ROM hack is what it is. But yeah, kind of sad. I really hope they go back to his original what he was when he like the first couple months of Recode testing. Because I really enjoyed that kit, and I think that would be a lot better than where he is now. Valem. Valem's kind of a tough one, if I'm gonna be honest. The main fact is he can't run. He's kind of a pain because you're fast walking. You're not even actually you know it's weird. I know Valem actually is pretty good for right where he is right now. Let's go down. Let's go down to his abilities. I don't know why all abilities in Recode need to waste stamina. I think that's kind of silly. Like even like the warp to portal costs 20 stamina. I think that's it's really weird that all of monsters have an ability that does waste stamina, even though I feel like you shouldn't. We'll get to that later. I'm getting sidetracked. Demonic warp. So you become invisible and you become really fast, and then you place orbs around the map. Warping to the orb wastes 20 stamina. For some reason, don't like that. Trickery. You can either, I think, mimic a. Well, you can place a mimic, and you can command it to rush a target, or or you could mimic a clone, I think, and then exiting out of it gives you a full sprint bar, I believe. I think those abilities are fine. I like it. Demonic Warp still wasting, like the wasting stamina thing is still kind of silly, but those abilities are fine. And Essence Eternal, you can either delete your warps, your demonic warps, or clones. I don't really like this kit, if I'm going to be honest. I think his original kit was better. When he first entered Recode, just because that kit was a lot easier to work with. When he first entered Recode, he could run. Like, I mean, you couldn't. He still had the weird like fast walking thing, but it was a lot easier to get the sprint meter up, and I think his base damage was just 30, and I think that kit was probably his best one so far. This new kit, I don't really like this new kit, if I'm being honest. I know this they have done a bunch of changes. Like when this kit first entered, was first out, it was impossible to win with because it was that bad. And for some reason, they kept like trying to justify this kit for some reason. Like they kept making buffs, nerfs, and I feel like they really need to just go back to the original one. Like that original one was a lot better than this. Like you don't need to try justifying this kit, like giving it changes or buffs. You just go back to the original one. And that's kind of about it. I don't really like this kit. I think I like Valum as a character. I think he's really cool, but his current kit is not really fun to work with. A01. I actually really like A01. One as a character, and two, this kit. His kit that he has right now is okay. I think he does need a little bit of work, but for the most part, he's okay. Illusion Dance is really, really good tracking ability. One, does damage, and you get the host form, infested thing, I believe. I think that's what that's called, and I'm pretty sure when killing players with that effect, gives you extra time, so that's pretty cool, and that's really good too. Yeah, I might be wrong. Don't quote me. Oh, and killing survivors gives you speed. It's actually fucking awesome. Yeah, no, you do get extra time when killing players with the debuff, and you get speed for when killing them as host. So that's actually really cool. Sludge Whip is originally it was probably the best ability that he had. Now it's a lot fairer, I believe. You could still very much hit it, but you need to be absolutely in direct line of sight, and you need to be confident and looking directly at them in order to hit it, because it is a lot slower, the wind up, and yeah, it does do good damage. And I do like that about the ability. I think honestly, A01 is probably the most fair monster. Well, the fairest monster out of the current cast. All of his abilities, like he does kind of get dogged on. That's just because of how broken Recode survivors are, but we'll get to that later. Time for host form. He does 50 damage. He's pretty good for chain killing. But he has I haven't tested him too much, but I believe he is kind of situational. Parasitic Pounce is really good for chase, because if you land on top of Survivor, Your regen, I believe, is paused, but yeah, it is paused. No, you waste stamina during the ability, so that's kind of lame. But it's whatever. All of his abilities waste stamina except for Metamorphosis, which is just getting out of the host form. Um, I don't know why they still feel the need to do this. Because I feel like the only time you would use Parasitic Chase is when you're kind of low stamina. Like, I feel like that would be the most efficient time to use Parasitic Pace. But that's whatever. I mean, he is pretty good with some of the changes that he has received, like the speed up when you kill a survivor, or the extra time that you get while playing him. I think that's pretty cool. I think those nerfs are fair in like when wasting stamina, but still, wasting stamina while using ability is annoying. They need to stop doing that. Garnishing, or I'm going to say garnishing void text. That's not how you pronounce it, but I don't really care. It's actually pretty good. You kind of just only want to use it on pinned survivors because you kind of can escape it pretty easily. Just because the pull effect isn't really the strongest in the world. And it does waste stamina, which is unfortunate because all of his abilities waste stamina. But yeah, I think host form is pretty good. I really like it. And I think A01 as a monster is about as fair as you can get with monsters in this game. He obviously gets dogged on pretty easily, but that's just because he is a fair monster, and Recode survivors are broken, which is sad. The Stricken. Oh, this is gonna be tough because this is this is the hallmark of my channel right here. But Stricken really isn't that good. I'm gonna be honest. The real reason why I play him, because I love Slendy Tubbies, and Stricken's the entire reason why I played this game in the first place. I played him back then when he was first implemented. Not first implemented. I played him a couple months after he was first added to Precode, and I loved him. And then they removed him, and then I was sad, and then now he's in Recode, and now he's not really that cool anymore because of what they have done to my boy. Let's start. Infected Custard. The Infected Custard is really good for you have to play Stricken as a trapper pretty much, and the Infected Custards are really good at doing that. I don't like them though, where they're at right now. I like the original Custards more because they were more used as information than really to kill or damage survivors. I mean, obviously they did damage. I believe it did 40 damage over the effect status, but it didn't do all of its damage quickly and then the effect would cease. It would still stay, but you would get damage over time. So they were used for information, and I actually really like that part about it. And these custards now are just purely for damage. Like the aura that you get when survivors stand in them, really doesn't last long enough for it to matter anything. And I think the speed boost that survivors get when they are infected, when they get the Stricken debuff, I think that's really dumb. I really don't like the fact that they do that. And it blinds you too, which is really good. Well, blinds and deafens you when you are infected, which is really good. Like if you pair it with Raging Leap, survivors can't counter it at all unless they're looking at you. But they did it right the first time with the original Infected Custard. I don't know why they needed to change it to make it more like this. And let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Drink Custard is I really like the idea of like you drinking custard, then you get your infection bar up, but it is absolutely useless. You can just use Shriek on an infected custard. More on Shriek on later. You could just use Shriek on infected custard, and you can either immediately get tank or get like 90% infection, which is 90% infection is really where you want to be at, because then you start doing like 40 damage. It's kind of crazy. Until you boil over and then become the tank. But yeah, Shriek. Shriek is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't really. I use it a lot because of the speed boost, but it's really annoying to use during chase because you really. When I use Shriek during chase, it's when I'm at 0 stamina, which you're always going to be at 0 stamina with Stricken. Um, and the speed boost that you do get doesn't fast enough to matter anything, or it doesn't, but it's not fast enough, and it doesn't last long enough for it to be really effective like you would want it to be. Because survivors you run at, I believe, 23 speed, and survivors are at 22 speed. So, and the effect only lasts 5 seconds, so it's gonna run out before you're in hitting range. If you're at any distance that isn't, hitting range. It's really good on survivors that are low stamina, but you are just really good on survivors that are low stamina anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The tank, Stricken tank, he's really good. He's pretty balanced for what he is right now. I mean, like everyone like hates Raging Leap because it's really annoying, and I agree. Raging Leap is really annoying. I think they should change it. It's a really good ability, but it's not. One, it doesn't make sense. How are you getting damaged from that far away? And it gets dodged really easily too. Because when you land like MX, the reason why you jumping over it makes sense because he immediately gets back up after after power hop. Immediately gets back up. So like if you get knocked down, then you get like MX gets a free hit on you, which makes sense. I think that's pretty fair. The original reason why they had Raging Leap, or I think it was Ground Slam, stun in the first place was because when you were knocked down and Raging Leap and Stricken Tank landed, you both got back up at the same time. So getting knocked down, it wasn't really much of a punishment. Like the only thing that it would do is it would pause your stamina regen for as long as you were knocked down, which that was really good because you got winded in Recode, which made that ability pretty, and it had a shorter range too. But now with Raging Leap, it's kind of, I don't like it at all. I like the original Ground Slam because one, it was not dodgeable, and I think that was as fair as that could be, and it stopped stamina regen, which is really important to chase and everything in this game. And like now, it's dodgeable, so the survivors, they'll jump and then will get their stamina back while you are also getting your stamina back, but they're also now running away, and you lose distance. I mean, like if you land it, you get infection, you get stamina back, but you get stamina back anyways when you're landed. You regen all your stamina by the time you start running again. So it doesn't matter that you get stamina back. Like you get infection, but you're just going to waste that infection again by trying to get to the survivor, then be on low stamina, trying to use Raging Leap again, and then they dodge it. Like it doesn't. I don't know why they keep making changes like this. Like it was good the way it was. I don't know why. Stricken never, and he needed work, but he didn't need a rework. if that makes sense. Like, cause that original kit needed some work, obviously. Like, it wasn't that it was in a rough state, but he didn't need a full like new set of abilities. Like, I like Streak. I appreciate it. It's good sometimes. It you kind of does not anything sometimes too, a lot of the time, but I appreciated that older kit a lot more, because of it was just as it was as fair as it could be, and this kit is not as fair as it could be. This kit is unfair for both Slicker and the survivors. Is she used to be one of the best monsters in the Recode before they started nerfing everything about him and making him more of a pain to go against. Like, and I see a lot of people like this is the number one monster that they don't like, and that's kind of disheartening because this is my baby right here. This is my monster, and no one likes this monster, and I don't really like this monster anymore. I mean, I love like Sunday Tubes, I love Tinky Winky, I really like Stricken as a character, but I don't like this kit at all. It's really sad too because yeah, this is the whole reason why I play Recode and Pillar Chase in general. But and I don't want to play Stricken anymore because it's just what they've done to him. I think the omission of Stricken on release of Recode is a good idea. I think they should. I think the smartest thing to do is to take that time, remodel them, rework them to be a lot better to just play and go against. I really hope they go down that path because if they don't, I don't think I'll play him anymore, which is sad because I want to play this character for God's sake. The Fogborn. So the Fogborn is kind of interesting. He's actually pretty good. He's kind of like A01 in the fact that he's pretty fair. Like he's good. He's a good monster, and he's also not like super overpowered, like Vapor is. So paralyzing gaze. You have to charge it up a little bit, but it is pretty good. Like if you land it, survivors will be stunned for a long time, and that's really good. And yeah, like and this ability does get dodged pretty easily, but when it does land, oh, it's so good. Static Biosis is a really good travel ability, and it's good for like travel damage. Like it's pretty good, and it does get dodged easily too. But for what it is, it's still really good, and I really like it. Stalking Stance, again, pretty good ability. I really liked it. Use time goes down slower. You do more damage, and you don't waste stamina when in Stalking Stance. I mean, like you do go a little bit slower, but you don't waste stamina, so that's pretty good, and I like it. I think just for the most part, Fogborn is really good. I really like what they've done with him. His model is it's so good. It's just so good. I mean, it doesn't look like the man from the fog anymore, but Fogborn is fucking cool. And like just this monster in general is they've done good with them. They've done good with Fogborn. Rosemary. Okay, so Rosemary is relatively new, and I don't have too much experience playing her, but from what I could tell, she's okay. Um, I can't like playing her on console's a pain because her buttons aren't mapped out on console. Her animations, however, are a little. we'll get back on the animations later, but her intro is really stiff. Um, so demonic essence. You like puke out a bunch of mist, and when survivors walk in it, they get it's called a withering effect, and the mists they don't last too long, but it's pretty good for what it is. Uh, Demonic Shriek is really good for pinned survivors. Like it does pretty good. It does relatively good damage, but it does waste stamina. Which again, I mean, okay, for this ability, I think it's fair because you are like genuinely screaming. You would be wasting. You'd be a little exhausted after screaming that loudly. And Demonic Essence is pretty good for zoning survivors or just like kind of trapping them to where they're at. So, and I appreciate it. I think it's cool. Her kill animation is uncreative. It's just A01, but you stick her foot in their head instead of stomping their head out. I think her original pre-code animation was really good. I actually like that one. I mean, I know it's outdated, but that one was still better because it isn't stomping like a lot of the monsters have a stomping animation. The only one that hasn't changed was Stricken, but Stricken hasn't. His model doesn't change at all. None of his animations, like none of it changes. And I feel like his kill animation is perfect, though. I do want to say that Stricken's kill animation is really good. Both animations. Soul Traversal is pretty good for just like inflicting damage, getting information on where survivors are without wasting stamina. I think that ability is really cool. And for the most part, Rosemary is really like she's pretty balanced. She does still kind of get dogged on by survivors just because of how broken survivors are. More on that later. But I like her. She does need some work, obviously, but I think she is in a pretty good spot for where she is. And that concludes kind of the monster section. So quick little preview or review. Vapor's really good. Aoni is pretty good. MX definitely needs work. Valem, I don't really like his kit. A01, I really like. Stricken, 100% needs some work. Fogborn is really good, and Rosemary is pretty good. Survivor classes. Okay, this section might get a little heated if you want to go with that. Some of these classes are just the bane of my existence. We'll start. Frontliner is probably the most fair ability in this game so far, besides like auxiliary or stuff like that. Frontliner is really good. You get a guard, the guard ability. You hold up your shield and you reduce damage from incoming attacks. You do drain stamina, which I think is fair for the most part. And then shield bash, you lunge forward, draining stamina, hitting, and if you hit a monster with the shield, you regain some stamina and you get a little bit of a speed boost. I think that's pretty fair. This ability and this class in general is pretty fair. You can kind of just ignore guard. Guard really doesn't do anything. You're just gonna waste stamina, and you need stamina, and anyways. Shield bash is, I like what they did with it. I kind of don't really like the monster knockback, but it's fine. This ability in general is pretty good. I like Frontliner. Dealing with it isn't too much of a pain. Auxiliary. I like this class. It's really fair. The healing isn't too overpowered, and the speed aura isn't too overpowered either. You get base stats, so 100 health, 100 stamina. Like in general, this class is pretty good. And there's not really much to go over. Like that's at face value, this class is just really fair. It's pretty good. It's not too much of a pain to go against because you drain stamina when giving the healing aura, or you drain stamina when giving speed. Like that makes sense. Those are good. Vanisher. Okay, so I um I don't like Vanisher. Dealing with Vanisher is really, really obnoxious. I'm gonna try and maintain my comments and maintain my well-being, but Vanisher is really annoying for me to go against. Vanish. Okay, so you damage. You have 60 health and 110 stamina, so those are relatively fair for what the ability is. When you vanish, drink the potion and become invisible for a few seconds. You are completely invincible and invisible. You cannot be tracked at all, and you cannot take damage. I say for like a couple of cases, but yeah, that ability is kind of unfair. Like especially during LMS, if you don't kill vanishers during before LMS, it's really easy to lose a game, like to throw an entire game away because of it. Because they drink their potion and then you can't find them anymore at all. Like after the red skull disappears, if your monster doesn't have like A01, you don't have a tracking ability, you're not finding Vanisher. I mean, you might if you get lucky, but this class really needs work. This needs to receive some heavy nerfs. Like it's super easy to have games just thrown because of this class. And then replenish all of your health back while draining stamina. That is supremely unfair. I mean, I guess it makes sense because like you have 60 health, but you get all of your stamina, all your health back in 0 time, and the stamina drain doesn't really matter for anything because you just get the stamina back because you're already walking because you can't sprint while replenishing. Like this class is really annoying to deal with, and I think they need to work on it heavily because yeah, this is not fun to go against. Visor. Visor's another one that's really unfun to go against because of the Haltmark ability, Flash. When you flash a monster, you blind them, and it doesn't punish you for flashing a monster at all, or even missing. I think missing a flash does punish you, like you waste 25 stamina, so that's fairer. But hitting a monster gives you 20 back. So it doesn't punish you at all. 0 punishment for making you, and it's really easy to lose a chase because of like if you look at some of my videos, when I get blinded, I immediately lose the survivor. If they're not if they're not just walk down a hallway, I immediately lose the survivor because of the flash ability. It kind of accentuates the fact that this game pretty much you want to not be in a chase. Like this game's called Pillar Chase. All of these like some of these abilities prevent chases or just throw chases entirely, which is really, really annoying. Tracker is really fair. Tracker is a really fair ability. You waste a bunch of stamina when you track a monster, and you let your entire team know where the monster is. But you do get punished for doing that, and I think that's pretty fair for what it is. Not like Flash where you don't get punished at all. Like you actually get. There's some trade-offs to using Tracker. There's 0 trade-offs in using Flash. Very good trade-offs for using Tracker. So this class is 50-50. I like Tracker. It's really fair. I don't like Flash because it's not fair at all. This class needs heavy work done to it. Usurper. Hold on. Wait. Visor. I feel like they could replace Flash with another ability to like I don't know. You when you use like if the replacement for Flash, you see like all you see items that are like a proximity away from you, or you see tasks that aren't done yet. I think that would be pretty fair, and it would be a pretty good replacement for Flash because Flash is annoying to go against. Usurper. Now I actually like this class, and it's actually pretty fun to go against because they give you hella health, and not that much stamina, which I think that's fair. Those are fair trade-offs. Like you get a bunch of health, but you also get less stamina. I think that's as fair as it can be. Um, Blocking, it's kind of like it's just like frontliner's guard ability. When you get hit, you get damage reduction and you waste stamina. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Blocking a hit will reduce damage and give you stamina. Okay, so that's better. And when you're blocking, you if the monster does hit you, every 2 hits empower the gauntlet, which empowering just gives you health and stamina. And then also you get rocket punch, and it just launches you forward and knocks the monster back farther. When using punch, charge up a punch and then knock the monster back based on how long it was charged. I think that's pretty good. And there is trade-offs too, because when you do it, you lose 5 health. I think that's sort of fair trade-offs. I enjoyed this. I enjoy going against this class because it's actually, I think, in my opinion, it's pretty fair for the most part. I mean, I know a lot of people. I do see a lot of people say like, "Oh, this class sucks," and I don't want to be like rude and say like, "Oh yeah, skill issue," but I feel like they are used to bullying monsters in games, like in Outcome Memories before I think Point 2 came out. Point 1 was just like bullying the monster simulator, but I think for what it is, like when used correctly, Usurper can be really, really good. And it is as fair. It's pretty fair. Time Shifter. This is another one that's actually on the fairer side. The burst ability is kind of a pain in the ass because it's another knocking back ability, but that's fine. Because you waste stamina and it increases stamina drain when you get the speed boost after that. And speeding a boot, press a button to get speed boost is a little weird. Like it doesn't make sense for Time Shifter to have like a time shifting ability to have a speed of like press a button to get speed. Like I feel like that's. I mean, I could make sense like you're increasing time so you're faster. So yeah, I take back those statements. That's cool. I like that. And Rewind is pretty fair. You travel when you press a button, you charge it, and then you go back to where you your last updated location. And when you arrive to your last location, your stamina regen is delayed. I think that's pretty fair, and I like that. Like this is a fine class to go against. I don't have like I'm not pulling hair out or slamming my keyboard across the room when going against this class because this class is pretty fair. Like 90 stamina, 90 health. Like that's I like that. Right? I like this class. I like going against this class. Yeah, and that'll be the end of the classes section. Quick little review. Frontliner good, auxiliary good, a Vanisher really annoying to go against, needs work. Visor 50-50 needs some work. Usurper pretty fair, kind of on the bad side, but it's pretty good. And Time Shifter I enjoy going against. And that is it. Let's go on a little bit of a side quest. Let's go with animations. The game's animations. Some of the intros are really stiff, and I kind of don't like them. Vapor's animation is, I think, fine. Vapor's animation's fine. Aooni's really good. I like that animation a lot. MX is okay. It's a little bit shaky, but it's not bad. It's definitely better than his original one, though. I'll tell you that. Valum, it's really his intro's really weird because a lot of the time when he appears, like the effects behind him don't load in time, so they load after, and it's kind of weird to watch. It kind of ruins the immersion a little bit, but this is okay. I like the idea of it, but the execution's really not that good. A01's newest intro is actually, I really like it. It does definitely need work though, because it is, again, it's stiff. Like the changing the camera angles when he's moving in the sludge form is a little bit weird, but when he pops out, he fully forms and he does a little growl. I really like that. That's really good. The Stricken, I don't like his intro at all. His older intro was really good because it perfectly conveyed Stricken as a character, like teleporting, then screaming into the camera. I mean, I know the newest intro for him is it conveys his character like he eats a custard. Like the only part of that is true. Like you drink custard, but you don't use drink custard if you're playing him. Like if you're actually playing him correctly. So it's still, and the animation for some reason, I think it's only with him too. His voice, like not his voice, but the sounds during the intro are really weird. Like they are delayed by a couple seconds. So he's like, when you pick up the custard, well, when he picks up the custard and then drinks it and starts screaming, it's delayed. So like he'll drop the custard, start screaming, and then like a couple seconds after, boom, then he starts screaming. And I know it's not on my end. I've like every time I've watched the animation, every single time the sounds have been delayed, and the sound design for that animation, like that intro in general, is really not that good. The intro is kind of stiff, and I think when he picks up the custard, his hands start clipping through the actual bowl. So that's I don't like that. I think they need to go back to the original animation or do something like a combination of the two. Like it's showing the back of him, and he's like eating a custard, but then he starts teleporting. He drops the custard, starts teleporting, and then screams into the camera. I think that would be good. That would be awesome, and that would perfectly convey him as a character now with him eating custard. Fogborn's animations. Yeah, I like Fogborn's animations. Fogborn's animation is pretty good. His intro, I really like his intro. I think it does have this slight issue of being stiff, but his intro is pretty good. Rosemary's intro is, I don't like it. I know it's like Vapors, where like she gets taken from wherever the hell she's at, and then gets brought back. She gets brought to where the map is, and then starts screaming. Like that's cool, but if you look at the animation closely, that intro is really stiff. Like the camera angles, like it's got weird camera angles, and then like the way she moves, it's just like it's. I don't like it. Um, and yeah, that like the actual like movement, like the movement for Vapors, movement and kill animation they're fine. They're not good. I don't like his kill animation, and his running is kind of weird. I think the original running animation that he had was good, and his original kill animation was better. But yeah, he's fine. Aooni hasn't changed at all. I really like his. I don't think they should change that at all either because it's really good. MXs, I like MXs. MX is just good because they haven't changed those at all and ruined them. Valum, I like Valum. Valum's all of his animations are really good. A01. They need to do a different animation for Sludge Whip because all they did for that one when they nerfed it is just slowed the animation and sound down by like a couple seconds, which it sounds really weird and I don't like it. Fogborn's animations are really good. Stricken, he has the same pre-code animation, so, and his pre-code animations were really good too. So yeah, they were fine. And Rosemary's, all of her animations are really good too. The animations in general, except for the intro, some of the intros are kind of dookie, are really good. Let's go but yeah. Time to talk about the development team behind Recode and Pillar Chase in general. They have a communication issue. They 100% they have a communication issue. Like a good example are the two most recent like kind of controversies, if you want to call it that. With the monster level reset and some of the monsters like not having a chance of not making into the Recode. Let's start with the monster reset. Originally, when Recode first began development, I don't have a screenshot, but it's widely confirmed that the developers said that levels would not be reset. You would keep your monster levels when Recode dropped. And that made sense, and I enjoyed that. All right, I was fine with that. But they have recently gone back on that, saying, "Oh, your monster levels are going to get reset in accordance to the new XP system," which it's a fair reason, but I still don't like the fact that they lied about it. They lied that you would keep your levels, and it sucks. It honestly just sucks. They need to communicate better to their community. They need to be a lot more transparent too about some of the changes. Like I know, like originally I think this was a passion project, but you can still you can still be courteous and like, hey, we're gonna do this, like, and I really wish they hadn't made the announcement that, oh, your monster levels aren't gonna reset. Like you just broke that. Like, you went back on that. And people aren't starting to lose trust in your team. And now the some of the monsters might not make it into Recode, which they said that all monsters would be reworked, even if like they don't like if they get copyrighted. They said they still would be reworked so people can still enjoy their characters and their movesets. Them not saying, hey, where some of your monsters might not make it to Recode is them going back on it. Absolutely, really, it's a piece of crap thing to do. Because again, this is the second time, by the way, in like a short while that they have gone back on their word, and has kind of made me see Recode in a different light. And I and I want to emphasize, I love Recode. And I love playing Stricken, like, but they need to be transparent and like the monster level reset thing. If they had done a couple months in advance, way before, because I'm pretty sure Recode is about to be released. If they have done a couple months in advance, they're like, hey, your monster levels might get reset, then it would have come off easier. And the most recent announcement, hey, some of your monsters might not make it to Recode. If they would have like made a separate announcement, like, hey, some of the monsters might not take a long time, and some might not come at all. Because like if they gave like reasons and made a completely standalone announcement to like, hey, some of your monsters might not make it, I think it would have been taken. It would have been received a lot better. But they didn't do that. They said they made a little mini announcement. Hey, some monsters might not make it at all. That feels really I don't know what's the word, but condescending condescending, I think. I don't know how to say it, but like some of your monsters might not make it at all. Like, hold on, you said every monster would make it. Why the hell are you going back on it now? That's the part I don't like about that announcement. They should have done a completely standalone, like, hey, some of the monsters might not make it, and they would have given reasons of why they might not make to the Recode. That would have been a lot better. It would have been received a lot better. Why didn't they do that? It's beyond me. And the announcement was made against the community manager's wishes. I feel like you should be listening to one. By the way, the community manager is the owner of the game's girlfriend. I feel like you should listen to the owner of the game's girlfriend and the community manager of the game you are working on, and not just go against her wishes or her word to release an announcement that you probably know is going to piss people off. They need a little bit of restructuring, definitely. Like, they are really efficient. We have gotten like a bunch of monsters in like a short time span. We got a bunch of they've been open and Recode testing a bunch, but they definitely need some work. They're good. They're at a good spot. They're not at a good spot, but they were at a good spot, and I think they just need to get back to where they were. And I think people would be a lot more excited for Recode. Because right now, I'm not too, what's the word, optimistic about Recode as of right now. I will be playing it like on release. I'll probably be doing MX or Vapor because I've already done those two. Maybe A01. I've been glazing A01 throughout this entire video. I might need to play A01 on release. But yeah. They definitely the dev team is good, but they do need a bunch of work, and with the communication, being transparent, because some of these monsters people have put a lot of time into. For Stricken, I have put almost well over 20 hours on him in total. Like, if I look at my current Recode time right now, I have about 9 hours. I believe I had about the same time before they changed places, and I believe I had about 10 hours on a pre-code Stricken. So yeah, people have put a lot of work and time and love into these monsters. They deserve to get those monsters back, at least. Like, the levels, I don't care about the level reset too much. Yeah, I didn't expect it, but I not too upset over it. But if you're going to be removing monsters now, that's a completely different story. Like, if they remove Stricken, oh my god, I would throw a hissy fit. I love this character. I want to play Stricken, but if they, a lot of people are saying, oh, Inkfell is probably going to be the one that's not going to make it. And I kind of agree with it, too. Because Inkfell was largely worked on by Tronus, which is no longer a part of the dev team. And I feel like they're just not... I feel like they're willing to let go of Inkfell because of it. Which is sad, because I remember back in the day playing and loving Bendy and Ink Machine. And Inkfell, obviously, I've had some problems with Inkfell in Precode, but I would like to see Inkfell re-added, at least. Like, it would, do the people that have gotten this monster to Diamond, or Gold, or just put time into them in general, do them justice. Like, give them their monster back. Okay, so, in summary, Recode is a much better than Precode as of right now. It needs so much work, though. With the, with communicating with their community, or making just really, really dumb and weird decisions. They've done that a lot. Like some of the changes, like MX, like they keep changing MX for some reason when MX doesn't need to be changed, or removing monsters after, or just going back on their word in general. Some of the monsters I do like A01 or Aooni. Those are good monsters. I think those are pretty good. Survivors do kind of need a bit of some. They do need to receive some heavy nerfs, like maybe re-adding exhausted again, or with the winded debuff. When you reach zero stamina, your stamina regen is paused, you're breathing, and then um, yeah, they need. I think they should add that back because that would fix a lot of the problems that I have with survivors in this game. I think some of the survivor classes do need to see some buffs and nerfs. Looking at Visor and Vanisher, but yeah, the Recode is really good. Not really good, but Recode is a very good step in the right direction. They need to refine it, however, and I feel like they can, and they have before. Because when Recode first was in testing, like when Stricken was out, or when like some of the earlier testing, Recode was so fun. I legitimately haven't played a game and had that much fun in a long time. Like playing Stricken, like playing that original game. Oh my god, if I could go back to that, just that. Oh, I would give up so many things just to do that again because that was awesome. And they need to do that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they need absolutely the Recode step in the right direction. They need to refine it, and I think they can. I'm gonna put my trust, even though it's been broken twice recently. I'm gonna put my trust in the Recode team, and I think they're gonna make the right decision. And they're gonna put work on some of the things that are a problem with this game. And of course, like I'm not a big YouTuber. They're not gonna see this. I don't really care, however, because I just wanted to give my opinion coming from a gold stricken player who's played this game for over like 70 hours. I think I'm pretty qualified to give my opinion because of just how much I played this game, and I've been on both sides of the spectrum, like glazing the game or hitting on the game completely. I've played both teams, and I feel like both sides they are correct in some ways. Like Recode is really like a good step in the right direction. It's a lot more fun than some of the current ASIMs that are out right now. But and they some of the monsters are kind of underpowered. Survivors are it's kind of like a bullying monster sim if you're going against competent survivors while playing Stricken, um, which is really unfortunate, by the way. I feel that's it for the most part. They quick recap. Recode, good step in the right direction. Definitely needs a bunch of work, and I believe and trust that they are going to put in that work to make this game as good as it can be. This game has a lot of potential to be just fucking amazing, but they need to put in that work to make this game amazing. And that'll be about it. So yeah.